Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So within the last 2 years, there's been a serious emergence of very talented Dominican Republican boxers. And 3 out of the 4 Dominicans I'm going to talk about in this video got some of the most significant wins this year. You got Hector Garcia, who pulled off a big upset beating Chris Colbert, and then he followed that up with another impressive win, winning a world title against Roger Gutierrez. With the 2 different type of opponents that Hector Garcia had to face, he really showed his range. He really showed his versatility. He showed intelligent, effective aggression against Chris Colbert, and he showed his boxing ability against Roger Gutierrez. He also showed that he has a great chin, because Gutierrez is a big puncher, and Hector Garcia, he walked through all of his hardest punches. Another Dominican boxer who just pulled off an upset win was Edwin de los Santos, knocking out the previously undefeated Jose Valenzuela. Now, it could be argued that Jose El Rayo Valenzuela was the best Mexican prospect in all of boxing. Now, that's not including David Benavidez, because David Benavidez is a champion. There's no doubt overall, David Benavidez is the best Mexican boxer in the sport today. But with that being said, this is how big this win was. Santos knocking out Valenzuela. Edwin, he showed a little bit of everything in this fight: rhythm, speed, coordination, slickness, power, inside fighting, outside fighting, a great jab. And he also had to deal with adversity because he got knocked down in this fight. Got up and he knocked out his opponent. And we're not talking about some showcase opponent. We're talking about El Rayo Valenzuela. So Edwin, he fights at 135, making the lightweight division just that much more stacked. And the fact that he's a PBC fighter means there's a very good chance Al Haymon is going to be trying to match him up with the likes of a Rolly Romero, Frank Martin, or even an Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And by the way, going back to Hector Garcia just for a second, Hector Garcia, he fights at 130. He's a junior lightweight, and he even actually called out Shakur Stevenson, which is something no one ever does. Calling out Shakur Stevenson is like calling out Devin Haney. It shows that Hector Garcia, he has a different type of confidence. He has the type of confidence that a fighter who really wants to be pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world usually has. So right now, Shakur Stevenson, he has 2 of the belts in that division. Hector Garcia has 1 of them. And Shakur Stevenson originally wanted to be undisputed, at least until Bob Arum publicly came out and he kept saying that undisputed is stupid. Now, and of course, to not too many people's surprise, Bob Arum, he only said undisputed was stupid when fighters like Shakur Stevenson or even Devin Haney was going after it. But of course, Bob Arum, he never said undisputed was stupid when Lomachenko and Tyson Fury was saying they wanted to become undisputed. We know what time it is. But once again, ever since Bob Arum started downplaying Shakur Stevenson going after the undisputed title, Shakur stopped talking about becoming undisputed. If Devin Haney decides to move straight up to 140 after the Kambosos rematch, I expect Shakur to move up to 135 immediately and try to chase the Lomachenko fight. Once again, that's if Devin Haney himself doesn't take the Lomachenko fight. But if Shakur is going to stay at 130, then he has a big fight against Hector Garcia to unify the belts. Now, getting back to the list of Dominican fighters. So then you have Alberto Puello. Puello made history this year, becoming the first Dominican boxer to become world champion in the junior welterweight division. Puello, he beat Batir Akhmadov to win the world title. And he actually shared a very interesting story about Batir after the fight. He said there was a time when he wanted to be in Batir Akhmadov's training camp, and Batir told him he wasn't good enough to be in his training camp. Can you imagine saying that to a fighter? And then finding out in the future, you're fighting against that same fighter that you dissed, the same fighter you said wasn't good enough to join your camp. That's who you're fighting for a world title, and then you lose to him. That is what you call karma. So now that Puello is one of the champions at 140, he's called out Teofimo Lopez. And Puello is one of the many fighters at 140 that I feel Teofimo Lopez would lose to. Then last but certainly not least, you have the very talented Ali lookalike Michel Rivera fighting at lightweight. This man, he can box, he has power, he's been beating a lot of good competition. In fact, Rivera just revealed that PBC offered Isaac Cruz a fight against him on 3 different occasions, and Cruz turned down the fight every time. Which tells you even Isaac Cruz knows how dangerous Michel Rivera is. So Michel, he's still calling out Isaac Cruz. He's also been calling out Gervonta Tank Davis. Apparently Rivera is Gervonta's mandatory, but that makes no sense because the WBA, the real WBA champion, is Devin Haney, which is the reason why the WBA, they really need to clean this mess up when it comes to these belts. So anyway, there you have it, guys. Once again, there's a serious emergence. There's been a Dominican invasion, and it looks like they're going to be around for a while. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at ScalpCarolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, a before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention, so I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, ScalpCarolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, ScalpCarolinas, to get this done.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.